Founded in 1062, Marrakesh is a city with a long and rich history. In recent times, it has also been home to a thriving art scene. Cosmopolitan and bohemian, earlier this year, it hosted its Biennale, a festival that set out to examine the role of traditional culture within modern society. This is a subject that artist Sara Ouhaddou has explored for much of her professional career. Her exhibition, which was held inside Marrakesh's Bahia Palace, approached storytelling in a completely novel way. A carpet with 700 different ceramic pieces attached to it serves as an illustration to a well-known Moroccan story in which an ogre takes a princess away. A hero arrives to save her.
He's central to the story because everyone is expecting him to save her, but he will not.
If some of the artwork might, at first, be a little difficult to interpret, the message contained within the stories is a familiar one.
Some of them are really universal stories. It's just the names, the costumes maybe. The imaginary is oriental for sure, but for the meanings, it's universal meanings.
While Sara's show helps transform an oral tradition into a physical form, another exhibition that was taking place around the corner celebrates storytelling in every shape and size. Filmmaker Thomas Leidenberger has been chronicling the decline of storytelling for the past decade. The results of his endeavors filled a cultural institution in the heart of the city. Part of his work included a documentary he made about a storyteller and his attempt to pass his skills to his son.
القصة اللي تتكتب صعيبة وكثيرة، ولا خصك إلا بغيت تعاودها خصك الدراج، خصك بزاف. ربما هي إلا بغيت توصف شي حاجة في القصة اللي تكون مكتوبة تقرا 4 الوراق ولا 5، يعني 10 صفحات. دابا الشفوية بالنسبة لي أنا سهلة على هذيك المكتوبة.
معقولة؟ الشفوية كتسمعها
مقاد
وإلا كنتي حفاظ لأجل الحفاظ كاين دابا اللي ما قاريش ما يعرفش الكتابية الزلوة ومن عصات الطبال ما يعرف ليهاش، ولكن حفاظ ما معنى حفاظ كتلقى فراسو.
The ghostly presence of the storyteller appears at the exhibition. His flimsy form is projected into a room filled with portraits of people who make a living by performing in Marrakesh's world-famous square.
The idea is to show how many people really live off the space Jemaa el-Fna every day, and how many people really make their money of this square. And the way they are hung is by groups. So the first part is the Aisawa, the snake charmers. And the idea is that during the exhibition, each day we take off 1 photograph, and all that remains is the name. And it's just to kind of sensitize for the people disappearing in Jemaa el-Fna Square.
The history of storytelling is a key component of the exhibition.
Well, this is the historical part. These are photographs which have been given to me from the Maison de la Photographie, which is just next to here, up the road. And for me it was quite interesting to see that the halqa, or to show that the halqa existed a long time before, and especially here, was the place reserved for the storytellers. And what you could see, which I find quite interesting, to see a lot of women wearing the traditional haik, the Moroccan haik, that was at Jemaa el-Fna Square in the 1920s, 1930s. And nowadays, you probably wouldn't find so many women anymore. I thought it's quite interesting to see.
But Thomas is also keen that a new generation record their stories.
This is the storytelling box. It's like a photo booth, basically. You're invited to sit inside, in front of a tablet, in front of a camera, and you're invited to tell your own story. And this story is directly available here and will be pushed automatically over the internet to the virtual museum.
While Thomas is keen to preserve and promote storytelling, he fears that his passion is not shared by younger generations.
When I meet young people now, they don't even know what a halqa is. They have not even seen a storyteller. I mean, I met people that grew up in the new city of Gilis, of Marrakesh, and they've never been to the Medina even. So it seems to me that all this oral heritage is about to disappear because the chain of transmission from the old generation to the new one is about to get cut.
But he is not entirely pessimistic, believing that the power of a story and the skill of the performer can convert newcomers to the art.
Once they really hear the storyteller, they cannot resist anymore. They will stay with him and listen to the story. But it seems at the beginning, if you talk with a young guy about, oh, I do a project about a storyteller, it's like, oh, this old stuff, why should I be interested into that? But once he will sit with a storyteller, he will be so fascinated because it's not only about the story, but also about the way he's telling the story.
Much of his work focuses on the activities that take place daily in Jama El Fna. That's where we are heading next, to meet a young apprentice who is learning from the master.